In a small village surrounded by fields, life seemed peaceful. But the elders knew that once a month, on the night of the full moon, darkness would descend on the land, bringing terror with it. In the middle of the field stood an old scarecrow, and no one dared to go near it after sunset. It didn't just guard the crops. It was placed there for a different, more sinister reason. Locals said that many years ago, when the village was devastated by a drought, a farmer made a deal with something ancient and evil. He built the scarecrow to save his fields, but it was cursed. Every full moon night, it would come to life and take a child from the village. Years passed, and the terrifying legends faded into the past. But on every full moon, people would still lock their doors, keeping their children inside, hoping to protect them from the lurking evil. That night, when the full moon rose high and bright, a heavy, eerie silence settled over the village. The wind had stopped, and it felt as if the world itself was holding its breath. 6-year-old Emily always loved watching the moon from her window. But tonight, something was wrong. A strange chill filled the house, though the windows were tightly shut. She peeked outside and saw the scarecrow, which was supposed to be far away in the field. Moving.it walked, lifting its wooden legs that creaked with each step. The tattered rags that once made up its clothes flapped in the wind. On its head was an old, worn straw hat, and its eyes, they glowed with a dim, unearthly light. It was coming straight for her house. Emily screamed, and her parents rushed into the room, but they saw nothing. "It's just a bad dream," her mother soothed, closing the shutters. But deep down, even the adults knew that the legends might be true. Later that night, the creaking of floorboards woke Emily. She sat up in bed, her heart pounding. In the dim light, a figure appeared, long, skinny arms, a dried-up body covered in straw. It was the scarecrow. It stood silently by the door, but its presence was suffocating. Emily opened her mouth to scream, but there wasn't time. The scarecrow, moving impossibly fast, grabbed her arm. Its touch was cold and rough like dried straw. She tried to pull away, but her body froze. The scarecrow slowly, silently dragged her toward the window where she had been watching the moon. No one heard her scream. The next morning, her parents found an empty room and dry dirt tracked across the floor. In the middle of the room lay a small straw doll, an exact replica of Emily, made from the same rags and straw that once made up the scarecrow.